And we're live.
Did they cancel it? Is it no longer being made? Is that why?
No, it's Mrs. Butterworth's. They canceled the name and the bottle shape, but I'm sure
they got rid of the
same
bottle
shit.
shape? Why?
Well, yeah, you can't have it shaped like a old mammy black woman who's like serving you pancakes.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
it was literally
like
a mermaid almost, like the top.
Is
of
it
her
just
was
called Butterworth's now? What do they call it?
Or maybe it was Aunt Jemima. Was
Oh,
Aunt
yeah, that was
Jemima
the
they
one.
changed, I think. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
they're coming for Mrs. Butterworth's next, though. Don't worry.
They better keep
No,
their
she's a woman.
Uncle Ben already bit the bullet.
And Uncle Ben, his 90-second rice is tremendous. And now I can't even look into his loving, tender eyes as I'm microwaving it.
Nope.
Nope, now it's going to be some soulless corporate logo.
So Aunt Jemima is now called the Pearl Milling Company. Or
Oh, yeah,
will
who
be.
doesn't want some of that?
But I are they literally losing that whole, they've had brand awareness for 100 years or so.
I was gonna say,
You don't make a brand after someone that you loathe and hate. It's not like they're like, we fucking hate Mrs. Butterworth, Aunt Jemima.
Jemima,
This
right?
bitch is gonna be on our syrup forever. Fuck you. No.
I'm open to the idea that there's something about this I don't understand, but I never thought that it was racist or that it was a way to put someone down.
Nobody actually
I can
cared.
help.
I remember on Twitter seeing black Twitter being like, they're getting rid of Aunt Jemima. What? Why? It's just a black person on a syrup bottle. Oh, thank God we solved all the problems down to that, and that we're down to syrup bottles now. Man, I must have missed the news.
Glad society is.
So the issue is
perfect.
that during slave times, you referred to a black house slave. If it was a woman, she was an aunt, and if it was a man, he was an uncle. So the reason that you have these products named after aunts and uncles and then marketed as a black man or woman as their logo is because that would be the servant in your house. Uncle Ben would go fix you up some rice, massa, and aunt, like if you watch that, my
Well, and
favorite,
he apparently made the best rice. Give him some.
he
credit.
made the best there ever was. God damn it, he was the best in the
Just
business.
rebrand Jemima then, like Jemima's.
Well, Jemima
Or Ben.
is something that I'm sure they've renamed some poor black woman whose real African name was Jumama or some shit that a Southerner
That's
could
true.
pronounce, probably. But in any case, if you watch my favorite mockumentary of all time, CSA, Confederate States of America, it's basically the alternate reality where the South wins the Civil War. And so intercut into it, I can't really explain how it's presented too well because it's so complex. It's like you're watching a video, you're watching this movie, but it's being presented like you just turn the channel on to a TV show. And so the commercial breaks of this TV show you're watching are part of the movie, if that makes sense. So the commercials are for what was it? One of them was called The Collar or something like that. And it was a slave collar that would GPS your slaves if they ran away, because it's modern times now. And they're
Right.
still slaves. And hey, is your aunt or uncle getting a little uppity? A little bit of, and they've got some pharmaceutical that you can give them that'll tone them down and make them happy with their slave life. And you see their black house slave, she's been taken and she's like, I love cooking for massa. And it's just, she's zoned out, drugged out of her
Right.
mind. Yeah.
Huh.
It's wild.
Is it a movie or a documentary?
It is a mockumentary in the
Mockumentary,
form
okay.
of a movie. Yeah, it is called CSA, Confederate States of America. It might be on YouTube for free.
So Aunt Jemima was a real person. Her name was Nancy Green, and she was a slave. Yeah. So
Did she actually make syrup?
I'm
Pancakes.
trying to make
probably.
sure I'm worried that Kyle's story just implanted in my head, and I'm mixing the two together. But I think so. I think.
Yeah, you're probably right about
She
pancake.
would I guess she was a slave and then she became not a slave anymore, and she would tell stories about cooking up the original Aunt Jemima pancake mix. A little wheat, a little corn, and a lot of nostalgia. That was the thing.
So they're stealing her legacy of shit.
I mean, my mind is open to the idea that maybe this is bad.
Pancakes are good. The name is bad. That's all there is to it.
Just who fucking cares?
Black people
cares?
whose ancestors were slaves.
That doesn't even seem to be the people who care. It seems to be hyper offended white women on Twitter.
Well,
Really?
they've got a voice too. They don't have anything else in their lives, Taylor. Their children are leaving soon.
Because that's the people who I see complaining about
Their
it.
wombs are drying up, Taylor, and they never had a child.
It's the same way that you'll see like white women be like Latinx, like Latin X instead of Latino or Latina. And it's like, there was like surveys of like
What
Latino
is Latinx?
people.
Is that a bad
It's
thing?
basically, they're like, you don't want to say Latina or Latino because that denotes gender existing. You do Latin X to say Latin. And it's like, they asked like, hey, people who are of Latin American descent, what do you think about this term? And like 98% of them are like, what are you talking about? This isn't any, this is, wait, did a white woman on CNN tell you this? No, sorry.
I believe that.
Nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about. Some woman named,
probably eats Taco Bell. She don't know shit.
Some literal Karen starts stuff like this.
Yeah, so it always is a Karen.
I'm with you like 90%. Arian Foster did say something to me that like burned into my head, and it's that like, hey, there was a whole generation where like every bad person in the movies or TV was a black guy, right? If there was going to be a burglar, if there was going to be a bad guy, they'd cast a black actor. And then that had people looking at black people a certain way, and it caused a problem, and you know, problems greater than they otherwise had to be. And I was like, okay, like that sounds reasonable.
Except in the
westerns.
Except in the Westerns and like every Charles Bronson movie.